You probably think that now that you've quit video games, you're on the right path to self improvement. And the problem is that everything you've learned from gaming has actually taught you about self improvement, and you didn't even realize it the whole time. Think about the reason why you could spend more than 5 hours a day focusing on grinding and improving a character in a game instead of doing that for your own life. Think about how many hardships you overcame to be able to get to the level that your character is at now. And now think about the fact that you're throwing all of that away, all of that progress away to start doing that for your own life. This is the biggest and the saddest thing that I see when I see gamers quit video games for self-improvement, is that they think that they wasted their lives on video games and think that they have to leave everything behind to be able to make progress in the real world. And the thing is that they don't understand, and especially self improvement gurus don't understand, is that there's a reason, there's an amazing reason why you spent so much time playing video games. And it's not because they're fun, because if you know anything about modern games, it's that they're difficult. They're challenging. They're not these like instant hit of dopamine releases that you get from things like Reels or TikToks. I would much rather, if I was an extremely lazy person, I would much rather just sit there scrolling on Reels using one of my fingers to get this instant access of dopamine instead of having to have all the knowledge and skills that it comes to being able to play these complex video games like Skyrim, Elden Ring, Sekiro, all of these challenging games that people are addicted to and love. And the more you realize that life is a game in itself, the more you realize how much we need to design it. Because the games that we loved are only that good, are only that captivating because it had such good game design. Now, when you hear me talking about game design, you might think, oh, does this mean I need some like kind of XP leveling system for my life? Do I need like a little pet that I feed to get me to do my chores? Now, that is the thing you can leave behind. You need to leave behind your like one-dimensional understanding of what game design is. You think game design is like the surface level of all of these gimmicks that they give you in games, like putting too much emphasis on rewards and things like that. You need to understand that game designers themselves had to understand the core principles of how our psychology works to be able to understand how to apply these overarching principles, put them into the game as game mechanics, and then use those to get you hooked and addicted and playing for hours and hours on end. And the coolest thing about this journey is that you will look back on all the things that you did within those games and start to piece together the puzzle of how these game designers use these psychological principles to hack the minds of millions of gamers worldwide so that they just stay glued to their screens. And that's the kind of thing you kind of want to do at the moment, is that you kind of want to glue yourself to a screen to help you focus on that business that you're working on. You want to glue yourself to a screen to help you work on that uni assignment that you need to do. And if you can do something as boring as grinding for hours and hours on video games, or doing fetch quests, or all of the other BS that game designers make us do without us even realizing that they're boring things or frustrating things to do, that means you have the ability to apply those to your own life as well. But here is a mistake that people fall into when they think of this idea of gamification, which I am completely separate from. They think this is all about making everything in your life as fun as possible, and that's not the case. Managing your inventory in games is not fun. Dying over and over and over again to a boss because you don't know its attack patterns is not fun. So if we can do these things that aren't fun in games for so long, it means that we can also use the same overarching principles that game designers use to make us do those things without even realizing it, and apply that to our own lives. All right, if you're done hearing me ramble on about how game design can improve your life without giving you any actionable systems to make it happen, I made this video over here that teaches you the 5 habits of 5 ultra successful gamers and how they use them to stop living a life by default and start living a life by design. I'll catch you there.